The water's clear and cold and the sky is blue. There's no wind, and you need a bait that's going to entice those bass with the smallest of strike windows into growing how far they'll follow so you can set the hook. That's right, geeks. So on these days when it's clear, calm, and cold, you need something that's going to increase the size of those bass's strike zone. And you need something a lot of times that's either going to get them to react or something. And two of my favorite baits that seem to have the most drawing power is a big swim bait, even in the cold water, or an Alabama rig. With all those wires on a cold, calm, clear water day, that's out the window. Until now. What you need is something like this. This is a clear Alabama rig. It's called the Cure Evolution from Tornado Innovations. And this Alabama rig solves a lot of problems with storage when it comes to these clear Alabama rigs. We'll talk about the bait a little bit more here in just a minute. But first, I'm going to show you a pattern that I love this time of year. For this particular bait, I'm going to show you how to rig it, how to fish it, rod, reel, and line setup, where you should be targeting, and of course, I'm going to give you the retrieve that's going to catch you some more bass. Now, let's go over this sweet little thing. Now, he sent me two different versions. This is the bladeless version, which I have to say I truly do love, especially if the bass in your lake are a little bit shallower. Today we were fishing a lot deeper, so a little bit of vibration, once you get so deep, you're really eliminating, no matter how clear it is, how much flash you're getting, but vibration counts. And so we're going to tie on today and use today the one with the blades on it. This is really an innovation when it comes to Alabama rigs, and you geeks know this is I'll throw an Alabama rig from now through spring. I just think it is a extremely good fish catching bait. Now let's take this out of its tube and let's go over the unique qualities it has. The A-rig we're going to be talking about today is this little puppy right here. And I love some of the clear A-rigs. I've got several of them. And the thing that I really love about this is they've solved the storage issue. Number one, they come in these tubes, which are plenty big enough to be able to fit your A-rig in, along with your baits attached. But the great thing about it is these arms haven't been stored or bowed down like this. Most of your A-rigs, your clear A-rigs, you have to store upside down so that they stay apart, and that's really a problem. Instead, these actually have collapsible arms on them, so you can store them in any box you want to. Now, let me show you how easy it is to be able to put an arm up and lock it into place and to take it back off again. So it's really as simple as this. Each one of the four arms work the same way. You just lift it up and you got a nice little O-ring here. You're just going to push that right up and in place. And there you have it. You do all four like that and you are ready to go. So you can see we've got the arm up. You can do two different things. You can take your fingernails and just pull this out, or it comes with this little tool. There's two sides. They make a little bigger version. You can just clamp it right down on there, and then you just kind of wiggle and it pulls right off and you're ready to store again. So like I said, everything's pretty simple. They do come with split rings, so you can connect with split rings. I like that. I'm not going to put that on there because I want to change out the baits and the heads. So we're going to put on some clips right now. Pros and cons to that, but for right now, we're going to put some clips on. So on this, we're going to actually be using the Kitech Easy Shiner. This is a 3-inch, and we're going to put a 5-inch in the center back there trailing to try and get a big bite today, or get one of those bass to really commit to something a little bit bigger. Now, let me show you how we're going to rig these. All right, geeks, so we're going to put these little 3 inches on the outside, and we're going to use 2 sizes. This is a 1/8 ounce. It's going to be on our top 2 and our center. And we're just going to come straight back and out. We're just going to start twisting up. Now these things are pretty thin, so you got to have a pretty thin wire on these 3 inches. And we've got a ton of alewives in this lake, which is why we're going to use that alewife. So we'll do 3 more like that, and I'll show you how to rig the big one now. Just for reference, we're going to put 2 of these at the bottom. That'll kill it out. These are the 1/4 size. These are the 1/8 ounce size. Now we're going to go ahead and put the 1/8 ounce is going to be our center. It's going to be in the middle. We're just going to go straight through, straight out the back, right there. Now we're just going to fatten it up. Lift that head up there, fold it over, and we're going to roll it up. There we go. So it's going to look like a big alewife chasing down some small ones. All right, I'm going to show you how we're going to put the middle one on, and all the rest of them will be the same. These are quick snaps or whatever, fast changing, whatever. You just kind of come in. And what I do is I try to bend it out just a little bit. And you get it started. And then you just pop it around. And there you go, nice and easy. And you can tell those things are pretty thick, so good wire on these. We will put links in the description to everything on here. Now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know if they're on Tackle Warehouse. If they're not, they should be. Tackle Warehouse. But these things are pretty amazing, and they make spinner baits and buzz baits. It's pretty neat, especially for us guys that fish clear water. But we will put everything in the description, links, whether it's to Tackle Warehouse or not. And if you don't mind, those Tackle Warehouse, we don't do memberships or Patreon or anything like that. So the best way to really support us is those links. Doesn't cost you a single dime extra, but if you're going to buy from Tackle Warehouse, use our links. Bookmark them on your computer with the link down in the description, or scan this code right here on your mobile device and bookmark that. So anytime you go to Tackle Warehouse, just click on that bookmark. It helps us out. Like I said, it doesn't cost you a dime. All right, now we're just going to tie it on after we got everything rigged. It's just going to be a simple San Diego jam knot. Twist that a few times. We'll go through that bottom loop. And then up through our top loop here. That is your San Diego jam knot, if I can get a hold of it. We'll cinch it down and then cut our tag end off. Now, let's talk about rod, reel, and line. Again, geeks, I stress to you, if you're going to leave this tied on, break it down, break the arms down, put it in this. I get these from Amazon. You can get like 20 for the price that you're going to pay in most places that might have a little logo on it or something. Go check them out. Again, that link's down there. I don't, it's just something that I found that I try to share with you all the time. Now, rod, reel, and line. For this, I'm not throwing really heavy anything. This is the Cashin. What I love about Cashin, they're made 100% in the United States. And this is their A-rig, or their umbrella rig rod. And this is a 7'10" heavy fast action. So you're going to be able to throw some pretty good weighted stuff, including this little bait right here. And I've got that coupled with a Lew's BB1 speed spool. Now this is the old school speed spool. This is a 6.4. You got to learn to be slow in the wintertime with these things. And of course, I've got the canine braid. I've got 20-pound test, and I go to anywhere between 15 and 20 fluoro, which is their cold poly, because it's got a little bit of stretch. It's still very invisible in the water, and it's a little more forgiving than braid or 100% fluorocarbon. By the way, I've got a 10% off discount if you haven't tried their new JDM long casting silk braid. You better go get some. It is amazing, and how much it increased your cast distance is crazy. So one of the things I love to do, and we've talked about this, and again, there's a great video on this. I'll leave a link at the end of this video talking about this exact pattern. And what we're going to do right now, one of my favorite places to fish this, yeah, sure, around any rock, around any cover. Remember, wind is your friend. Even with this ultra clear one, docks, marinas are also great. But one of the things I love to do this time of year when the water drops into the 40s is I love to fish this on the end of laydowns and brush piles, because a lot of times what the bass will do, if there's rock there, they'll come all the way down those and they'll sit right on the bottom below those brush piles waiting for bait fish to swim out of them so they can have an easy meal. You can also run this through balls of bait, another incredible way to go catch some good bass this time of year. So that really covers your locations. Now let's talk about retrieve. Retrieve is going to be pretty simple. 90% of the time, I'm just going to throw it out there. I'm going to contour the bottom, or I'm going to bring it through the shad. If I'm using forward facing sonar, I'm going to try my best to keep it slightly above them, and we're going to play the keep away game. Every once in a while, and this is very much less during the winter time, we're going to give it just a tweak. So I'll stop it and I will literally turn it maybe an eighth of a turn. It will not be a lot, because if it gets a sudden jerk, sometimes in that colder water, those lackadaisical bass, they won't hit. They'll turn off of it if it moves too fast, because they know the water's cold. Nothing's moving that fast right now. When it comes to hook set, you've heard me talk about this. 45 that sucker, get them up, don't play them, don't fight them, get them to the boat hop them in, or make sure you got a net ready to go if it's a good big. 90% of the time, you've seen me boat hop 5-pounders in the spring on a lot of them. And the good thing about this is this is really, I want to say this is fluorocarbon line. So who knows what pound test that is, but it's pretty thick. I don't think you're going to have any issues with it breaking on you. So like I said, links in the description to all this. This is a pretty neat little Arig, and I'm going to really be putting it to the test over the next few weeks, really the next few months. Now, if you guys want to go check out that video where we go in depth on this very unique winter pattern, make sure you go check that video out right here. Otherwise, questions and comments in the comment section below. Like it if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you ring that bell. Be part of the 100% Watch Squad. We love the 100% Watch guys and gals. You geeks rock.